if you do spot an alien, put in the comments that you did.
That's why they're so worried about illegal aliens.
Because they're shifting focus on illegal aliens because the real aliens from Mars that we're trying to colonize. Maybe we're not trying to colonize Mars. Maybe we're trying to merge businesses.
And we need Ukraine's and
Greenland's
resources so that we can come equal to the table.
Yeah. Is up, guys? I have a good episode today. But first, I want to start out by telling y'all I appreciate the support and I appreciate y'all tuning in and keep on following me. Press that like and follow. Dude, this is my brother right here.
What up? I'm DMT.
We're gonna talk about management, something I like and I don't like it. I hate it, but I know a lot about it. So we're gonna talk about it because it's been on my mind and it's something that I have a lot of knowledge about. Well, in this position of business. So first I want to talk about what makes a good manager, right? So these are things that I've highlighted and key points to keeping the back in y'all's head. Anyway, so management to me is being a leader, being somebody that executes things very well and gets the job done. Good to employees. Then it goes even deeper than that.
Person who's autonomous, who's able to get the job done without being told what to do.
Man, no bro, because a lot of these people gotta be told what to do, and this is why the management is placed there for that reason. Have you ever been in any management position, right?
I am right now.
Exactly. So would you rather be a management or a regular employee?
Regular employee.
Why?
It's easier. You just gotta do the work. Dude. There's no real pressure to I mean, of course there's pressure to do your job good, but there's not the why isn't everybody doing good?
Right.
It's just me.
Yeah, exactly. Because the why isn't everybody doing good it falls on the man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is definitely a lot. There's been times where I was like, man, fuck this, bro. They gave me the option. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I just be a regular? But then I was like, well, why would I? Hell no, I can't be a regular employee. I could not see myself. I've already built, especially at the job I'm at right now, I've already built, such a high standard for myself. And I'm being told what to do. And it's not even about being told what to do. It's just that, I know how the business should be ran. And someone telling me otherwise is going to be not a good thing,
The more people you have to look over, the harder the job is.
No, for sure, yeah.
Even the CEOs, the guy who owns the company, that guy has a way harder job. It might not seem like it, but he has the responsibility of everybody's likeliness, everybody's data, everybody's protection and insurance. If they get hurt on the job, who has to deal with it in the back burner?
Exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that the higher ups have to go through that regular employees don't really understand or
exactly
even care about.
So the thing I want to talk about, my biggest thing, the top of my list would be for a manager or in any position would be communication. Guys, y'all see what the fuck this is? Answer your fucking phone. It's not hard. I got people that don't know how to answer their fucking phone and it pisses me off. You don't even know, because for them, I answer my phone. Anytime someone calls me, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I could be dead asleep. That's just the way I am. And not everybody is like that, so you got to adapt to it, as a manager.
Not everybody wants to be reliable.
Exactly.
You do have to understand that, not everybody wants to be a manager or take on that responsibility. They see that early on, if I do less, then I get talked to less, I get asked less to do,
Yeah.
So
yeah, because and I mean, but it goes both ways for the employees too. Because if you don't communicate with me, then how can I make your job easier? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's the delegation.
Yeah. So delegation. A good manager will know how to delegate tasks to other employees. And the difference between a good manager and a bad manager on delegating tasks is a good manager is going to delegate the task, right? He's going to tell you what to go do, but
you want to choose the person who's the most competent.
Right. I mean, that too. Yeah. It goes as deep as that, finding that who's right for the task, right? But Don't tell somebody what to do and you're just standing around too as a manager. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's weird.
Like, I'm gonna go tell you what to do, or I'm gonna go say, hey, can you come help me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes
So,
sense.
and that falls into the category of like being a leader, or the difference between a manager, or the difference between a boss and a leader. A leader is gonna guide you to a successful outcome, right?
Yeah,
A boss is just gonna tell you what to do while he's just sitting there scratching his fucking ass.
yeah, it's really important to be self-aware about like
Right. And
what
that,
you're
yeah,
doing and what your image is. Like, what kind of image are you doing for the company? Are you sitting around? Are you looking lazy? Are you working your butt off and making the company look good?
exactly. Because the owners rely on you to make their business thrive.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And everything falls on you if your crew members are doing bad. You didn't train them right. You're not trained. You're being lazy on your part. As a
Yeah.
manager. You know what I mean? It's everything's on the manager. Everybody says, "Oh, they're no, it's on you."
Have you had to
And
deal with any honesty and integrity issues, like employees lying to you or things like that yet?
there's so many situations that I've been through, and the way to deal with that, I mean, it's just like you got to weed out the weak. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is like people who don't show up to work, people who do show up to work. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a constant thing for the people that are have bad work ethics. So you weed them out, and with write ups, with disciplinaries. You know what I mean? And policies. And enforce the policies that we have, which is it could be a termination policy that we got to enforce. And so this is not going to work out. You're not making our business helpful. You know what I mean? You're not helpful to the business.
I
You
think
know,
as long as you lead by example, and you show them what a good employee in general is supposed to be, and then give them a good standard of what, how to take care of people and how to make sure that the job is getting done efficiently. I think eventually people kind of just see it and pick up on that too.
exactly, because a manager is supposed to be the best one at everything. Like in any position that you have a job and it has four positions. At those four positions, you should know how to execute it perfectly. You know what I mean? Without nothing, and as far as like doing things too, like you're the one who keeps up with the business. You put in what your job is to do is to take everybody's slack. Whatever they're lacking on, you go in the field. Hey, y'all are busy over here. I'm gonna go run over here. I'm gonna go boom, help them out. Okay, now I got to know every position perfectly, and I got to execute it perfectly.
I guess we should talk about the some of the drama that's going on in the United States right now.
So as of
I mean, in Texas at least, we're
like
seeing a lot of
like,
ICE immigration
and
movement.
it's yeah, dude.
Business has been good for private prisons ever since. Core Civic and Geo Group derive respectively 27 and 30% of their revenues from contracts for ICE detention alone. And you can see why this is such an appealing model for ICE. They get to outsource the headaches and responsibilities of these facilities, and sometimes ICE even adds another layer of removing by contracting with local governments, who then in turn contract with private companies. That is attractive because those particular arrangements are subjected to significantly less scrutiny than is required for ordinary federal
That's taking money
contracts.
away
So
from us now.
this system seems to work great for the
Our
companies.
now we
tax,
gotta
our
For ICE,
tax
but it
money
works
goes to
much
the
less well
government to
for
pay
anyone
private
who needs to
prisons
go through it. So let's
to
about what
house
these facilities
migrants.
are like.
So, what do you think of America as a business using migrants to fund private prisons?
I think it's sick. I think it's dark. I
Yeah.
think it's slavery. Like they were saying in the video, bro. It's borderline slavery.
Yeah, we learned that basically our tax money is going to the government to pay private prisons to hold migrants. And the more migrants they hold, the less money the more money we lose, and the more money the private prison CEOs make.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. So what I'm getting at is Trump's sending these people, to or back to their country. They're not
So
paying
we,
taxes. That's why we send them out.
one of them, yeah. Well,
Right.
they're mostly worried. They're saying it's because they're all criminals, violent criminals, like
Yeah.
gang members and stuff.
So we send them out, but now, as you said earlier, now there's no all the jobs that we had them doing they're gone now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like painting, construction,
Yeah.
electrical work, who knows, agriculture work, like all of that is going to now have to go to an American
Mhm.
who needs 1.5 times more pay to do the job half as good probably.
Yeah, and I see where Trump's coming from, but it's just that he's not doing it in a good way, and then with the private prisons and all that stuff, like I was telling Dylan earlier, like if they're gonna do that, at least have them in the detention center, but working towards getting their citizenship. You know what I mean?
On top of a skill.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know, like
exactly.
treat them like they're actual prisoners. Give
Have
them,
them, yeah,
like put them in some sort of education. Like obviously we don't want like some sort of like Nazi re-education camp. We want like legitimate education.
right, like rehabilitation and stuff like that, and skill seeking and things like that, because and TDCJ, they teach you all that. They hire people to do all that, for the prisoners, teaching them. Like you can literally go to college in prison.
Mhm.
They'll help us get our IDs back. Little things like that. They help us to better ourselves, and I think that's what these private prisons need to incorporate if they want to be on good terms. You see you see what I'm saying? They're doing it in a bad way. The idea is good, but they're just doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, and that's assuming that it's not because of racism.
Americans done the same thing too. That shit is everywhere. You know what I mean? You're gonna.
Well, think about this, like with overcrowding, now they're putting out Americans who might be actually like criminal.
Right. Yeah.
They're letting go Americans who are supposedly better than the migrant, but more than likely are horrible people
because they got money or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
They got connections. They got money. They got status. You know what I mean?
I'm more worried about what this is gonna do to our food chain, like our food supply. Yeah, like if we don't have people, picking vegetables out there for a lot cheaper than what I would do, then that means instead of a salad costing $10, it's gonna cost $20 now.
Exactly.
And we're talking about a salad. Now it's talking about a steak that's already $30.
Exactly. It's just from berries to to fruits to vegetables to anything. I mean, a lot of our farmers are of where they're Americans, but a lot of them that are working the farms are Mexicans.
Of Mexican descent.
Exactly. The owners are white.
So President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China have a widespread economic consequence, or not. It could end up tying all together. Who knows? So particularly for American farmers, we send a lot of exports out to China, specifically soybeans. 50% of our soybeans are actually exported to China yearly.
You said 50?
50%. They've already canceled about 1/3 of their contracts with American farmers because now our soybean crops are too expensive. So that's just one issue. But
Right.
It could cause American companies to step up to the game, get more soybean oil out there, and like actually use the soybeans that we're creating here in America for American companies, and then boom, you got America first.
So let's talk about it in a broad sense, right? So
yeah, it could go both ways.
Yeah.
It could either it could either be like, all right, we lose 30% of our China market. So now 30% has to be made up in America or in Canada or in any European country.
Right.
So at that point, maybe an American company will step up and buy and take up all of the soybean costs that we're losing out on. But unfortunately for Canada and Mexico, they have 25% tariffs. We get really, really important like materials from
Good
Canada.
materials too.
Exactly, direct materials.
Yeah.
As opposed to like it's been processed and then maybe goes
Super
across
cheap,
the
yeah.
sea and then
Yeah.
who knows what the heck happens to it. We're getting our timber, our lumber directly from Canada. A specific thing that I want to talk about though that comes from Canada is this stuff called potash.
A lot of potash comes out of Canada. That's what we use to put potassium in our soils. Again, we've got all of our potassium down. We've got all our needs
plants
in the ground. Potentially by then we'll be paying more for fertilizer.
Flamboyanting
Or
crops.
it'll all be settled. Or one really interesting thing that I learned recently is, yes, we take a ton of potash here in the States from Canada, but a huge majority of that actually only comes in because it gets on our barges and leaves off the West Coast. So they're They're sending it here, we're importing it into here just because that's Canada's easiest, most efficient way of getting it overseas.
Now that we are losing our potential potash importers, our
Right.
Connect,
Yeah.
our freaking potash
Plug, yeah.
plug. Now that we're losing that, I'm imagining an America where our fruits don't finish out as good at all. So not only are we going to possibly lose, say, 40% of our entire agricultural export, like all of those contracts across the entire world, it's going to be more expensive to produce those fruits, corn, soybeans, whatever the heck fruit you imagine.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we might not even have as good of a crop because we weren't able to get as much fertilizer.
Exactly. Make it.
Trump is giving. That's one thing I do respect about America and capitalist like societies. We have the opportunity to fill a gap.
Yeah.
And like there are probably fertilizer companies out there like, let's get on this, let's do that.
Right,
and,
right.
You know, we'll follow up with that one.
If they're smart, yeah, they would
Yeah.
fucking just let's fucking do it. Like
And
now
so-
this is their time to shine.
All right, so China slaps tariffs on us. 15 to send, 10 to receive. See,
As a consumer, you're paying a lot more. Because we're talking about with the 15 and 10, you're talking about the big corporations and manufacturers, you know what I mean?
So China also stopped importing our lumber, American lumber, because they're saying that our lumber has beetles in there that are actually causing problems in their ecosystem. So they stopped buying lumber for us too.
That's pretty scientific, dude. Like
Yeah.
they really dug deep just to find that out about us.
It's projected that we're going to lose $176 billion in total farm export. Wow.
So basically what we're saying, everything is increasing, guys. So get your fucking money right and learn how to budget because we're gonna hit a big increase in a lot of things.
Yeah, learn how to budget, save your money, learn how to grow your own food and rely on your own agricultural resources because it doesn't seem like the government has our backs right now whenever it comes to chickens or produce or really any agricultural import or export. Trump can't just get up on a mic and say like the bird flu is over, I'm going to make chicken prices cheaper now. You know what I mean? Like they have to actually like vaccinate these chickens and like make sure everybody is like getting better and not going to get worse. Because until that happens, like our chicken prices are just going to keep going up. Egg prices just keep going up. In conclusion, we learned that America runs like a business.
And who's it being managed by, Dylan?
The government is being managed poorly.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, management skills.
Yeah, just the whole, we tried to bring it full circle for y'all, just to like kind of show you guys like managing things are important. Like just the allocation of resources and people delegating. All of that stuff is so important. And if you don't do it right, you're going to have things fail, like small businesses and migrants' dreams.
If I'm being completely honest, guys, like if you're not, vibrating at a certain frequency that I am, bro, like I can't fuck with you. Like if you're not thinking of good ideas and things to grow, then I'm not gonna have you in my circle at all. Like, and I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean to be a dick. I don't mean to be an asshole, but take it how you want it. If you're not on the same type of shit I am, or whoever, you're not in my fucking circle. A rotten apple is only gonna rotten me too, and I have to push myself away from that negativity, even if it's people that I love, and that's the things you got to do in life.
We're hoping that we're gonna do an episode at least once a month.
Yes.
In the meantime, check out our streams, check out our TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube videos because we're posting on all social media platforms.
And I appreciate y'all following and the support. Keep on doing it. We're only going to get better. We're trying to grow. We're trying to do more things, better things, different formats. So, hey, put in the comments what y'all think and how we should do it. If you got ideas, let us know. If you want to, come on the podcast, talk about your business. If you're growing as a person, come on with us and we'll talk.